What's good? It's your boy 2K here. Shout out to the movement and everybody who's moving with us. I got a question for y'all. Given the 5-fight, $50 million deal that Adrien Broner signed with TMT, do you believe that Floyd Mayweather has revived Adrien Broner's career? And let me add a sub-question to that. Do you believe that Adrien Broner's career is even needed to be revived at this point? Now, the reason why I'm going to say no to the parent question is because of the answer to the child question, which is also a no. Let me explain. I'll add an end of the video annotation to this video, so when there's 20 seconds left in this video, an image will appear. You click on that image, it'll direct you to the video where I discuss Wikipedia listing Adrien Broner as a gatekeeper. One of the reasons why I believe Floyd Mayweather will not revive his career with this particular deal is because Adrien Broner is in between a rock and a hard place, right? And I discuss why Adrien Broner could be considered a gatekeeper at 147, but not so much at 140, right? He's in between a rock and a hard place because he's getting to the point where he's too big to be consistently fighting at 140. He's getting older, right? I think he's like 29 years old right now. You hit them 30s, man, it's harder to cut that weight. And then at 147, I mean, he can't beat any of the top guys there. You know what I'm saying? Straight up and down, point blank and period, right? Now, it's crazy because at one point in time, you know, Adrien Broner, let me say this, Adrien Broner at this point in time, he looked bad against Mikey Garcia, he lost that fight, and then he fought to a draw, which could have arguably been a loss against Jesse Vargas in his most recent fight, right? And it's crazy because at one point in time, if you would have asked Cats before he went to 147, if he would have arguably lost or had a draw with a fighter at the caliber of a Jesse Vargas, motherfuckers would smack you in the face. You know what I'm saying? Man, what you talking about, man? Get out of here with that dumbass question. Man, he'd knock that cat out, right? This is back when he was dominating at 130 and 135. Realistically, when he fought Antonio DeMarco at 135, right? That version of Antonio DeMarco is equivalent to what Jesse Vargas is at 147, right? A B-level fighter. And he just obliterated Antonio DeMarco. Two different styles, but as far as prestige, their abilities, how they, you know, their quality of their abilities, right? They're virtually the same. They're both B-level fighters, right? And to be quite honest with you, a guy that tries to box an Adrien Broner, he's at a disadvantage. He's supposed to be at a disadvantage. At least the older, the younger, 130, 135 Adrien Broner, he would have been at a huge disadvantage. But as soon as he moved up to 147, fought Paulie Malignaggi, from that fight forth, we started to see a different Adrien Broner, right? So that's one of the reasons why I don't think Floyd Mayweather will be able to revive his career, because at this point in time, fans have already pretty much seen Adrien Broner as a clown. You know what I'm saying? The nigga is, he's a clown. He's a funny cat. The motherfucker's the court jester. You know what I'm saying? Niggas don't take him too seriously. But the reason why I say no to the question of does his career even need to be revived, that plays a part in it as well. And let me put it to you this way for the sub question. I don't want to turn this channel into a channel where I go into how I feel the world really works, right? Particularly the entertainment industry. I may throw some gems on y'all here and there, and this will be one of the videos. Adrien Broner is a part of a club within the entertainment industry where the people that run it see him as an instant return on their investment. See, when you start garnering enough attention in whatever you do, you'll be approached, right? When you start making so much money in whatever you do, you'll be approached. right? And Adrien Broner has been entered in that particular club. So this is why, no matter how much people hate this motherfucker, and this is where my other point ties into this, he still generates a lot of views for his fights, because he's garnered enough attention to the point where he's got a bunch of motherfuckers that follow him and they support him, and they still believe that he can one day revert back to that Adrien Broner from 130 and 135 and do it at 140 and 147. There's a lot of motherfuckers that still believe that, right? But then you got even more motherfuckers that they're satisfied when they see Adrien Broner lose fights. So they will not hesitate to view every single fight Adrien Broner's a part of, just because they just want that instant gratification, once again, that they receive when they see Adrien Broner lose, or when they see him in a close-ass fight, right? The fans can't get enough. Majority of the fans, anyway, can't get enough of seeing Adrien Broner get his ass beat, right? So, on one side of the spectrum, you got a bunch of viewers watching his fights, ready to see him break out and dominate motherfuckers again. And then you got a bunch of viewers, I'd say probably like ×4 the viewers that want to see him succeed, right? Maybe ×10 the viewers that want to see him succeed, watching him to see him lose. In the good old boys club of the entertainment industry, right, that means money. That means a possible return on an investment. That is why Floyd Mayweather had no problem offering 5 fights for $10 million each. You see what I'm saying? Because he knows he's going to generate more than that. He already knows. Adrien Broner can fight pretty much anybody. You know what I'm saying? All Floyd Mayweather really has to do is put him in there with another Jesse Vargas type of fighter, right? And he can almost win the fight. It wouldn't be a situation where he gets a drubbing like he did against Marcos Maidana. It wouldn't be a situation where he gets ran over and tackled at the fucking line of scrimmage, you know what I'm saying, against Sean Porter. It wouldn't be a situation where he gets completely embarrassed and outboxed for 12 rounds against Mikey Garcia. No. He could fight a Jesse Vargas again, right? He could fight somebody on the caliber of Khabib Alekberdiev that has a bigger name than that, right? And he could still generate enough money to where at the end of this deal, Floyd Mayweather has gotten a return on his investment. That's what it's all about. And that's why I believe his career doesn't actually need to be revived. He's already entered that club. You know what I'm saying? And that's thanks to the fans. That's thanks to the fans for their greed of wanting to see Adrien Broner lose. That's because of the fans that are holding on to the past, that believe that Adrien Broner one day is going to wake up and be like, hey man, I'm ready to fight. You know what I'm saying? That's not going to happen. You know, this is the reason why Adrien Broner declined what he called a slave deal from Eddie Hearn, which was going to be a 3-fight deal for a little over $2 million. So it would have been total $6 million. This motherfucker is going to make $4 million more than what Eddie Hearn offered him for a complete contract in one of his fights with Floyd Mayweather. That's why he called it a slave deal. He already knew he was going to get something later down the line. He's probably already negotiating with Floyd Mayweather at that time. You know what I'm saying? Even if he wasn't, he already knew he was going to get something down the line because he's a part of the club and the entertainment industry. He already knew. Guys, this is why you see Adrien Broner being highly emotional, right? He's whimsical. He's capricious like a female. You know what I'm saying? For you dumb motherfuckers out there, that's just like a roller coaster of emotions, being capricious, right? That's what Adrien Broner is. Now, of course, a lot of these little niggas are like that. But Adrien Broner is 29 years old. You know what I'm saying? I'm only like 4 years older than the kid. So I shouldn't be, you know, the era that I was raised in, you know, he was actually in that same era. Believe it or not. He's born in 89, right? I'm 5 years older than him, excuse me. He was born in 89. You know what I'm saying? So he's privy to some of the same shit that I grew up with that actually made me a man. You know what I'm saying? Whereas a lot of these millennials, the era that they're growing up in, you know, they're being effeminized. You know what I'm saying? There's estrogen in the foods and shit, which is effeminizing them even more. They're highly emotional. That's why that term emo has been birthed. You know what I'm saying? Skinny jeans. You know what I'm saying? Rhinestone belts. You know what I'm saying? Niggas, you know, bathing with motherfucking loofahs. That's the shit that they made for women, nigga. If you a motherfucking nigga, you use a rag. You don't use no loofah. You know what I'm saying? But a whole lot of other shit. You know what I'm saying? Just, you know, you're looking at your society, and you see how these young men are being pushed to become more like women, and the women are being pushed to become more like men, right? This whole gay agenda, this gay movement, this homosexual movement, and I don't have nothing against homosexuals. Hey, I mean, if you want to be homosexual, it is what it is. I just don't understand as a man how you don't like titties and ass, but it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? If that's what you want to be, go ahead and be that. As a woman, that's what you want to be, go ahead and be that. But the problem I have with a lot of the homosexual movement is that it's teaching a lot of the kids that it's okay to be that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of parents don't want their kids to be exposed to homosexuality the way that it's being put out there in front of their kids right now. You know what I'm saying? I think the movement is putting it way too much out there. You know what I'm saying? And kids aren't given a choice. You know what I'm saying? It makes it hard on the parents to be able to teach their young daughters and sons, you know, how to be heterosexual, because a lot of the homosexual agenda is being shoved down their throat. It's a huge problem in our society right now. You know what I'm saying? And in my opinion, I believe Adrien Broner is a homosexual. I believe Adrien Broner is a pansexual, right? Let me put it this way. I don't think he's a pan, because a pansexual is all, you do fucking animals, kids, women, and men. I don't think that. I do think he's bisexual. Let me put it that way. I think Adrien Broner has done some favors in the entertainment industry to get as popular as he has gotten. To be able to market himself enough as a hot commodity to where the elites believe him to be an instant return on their investment, right? I remember a video. Now, I tell people about this all the fucking time. And because a lot of people weren't able to see it quick enough, they be like, ah, nigga, I didn't see that shit. But a couple of my constituents, they remember the video. All the way back when he lost to Marcos Maidana. It was like a week after he lost to Marcos Maidana, right? On YouTube, Adrien Broner uploaded a video. And it was basically him, the first time that we were privy to Adrien Broner contemplating suicide. And he mentioned in that video that he has done homosexual, or he has had homosexual interaction. He mentioned in that video. Dude took the video down, I believe, the same night. Because when I got home, at the time I was working security for the San Antonio Spurs, right? I was a security officer for them, and I worked overnight. And back then, I didn't have a YouTube channel, of course, but I used to watch, you know, all the cats on YouTube. I used to watch, at that time, I used to watch a lot of Ego, a lot of Dante. I used to watch a lot of Dwyer, my man 78. You know what I'm saying? I used to watch them cats. And whenever I was done with their videos, I would just browse YouTube looking for other videos that was boxing related. And that's when I ran into that video. It was about 2 o'clock in the morning. And I remember exactly where I was. I was in the upper level of the AT&T Center where the Spurs play. You know, the boxes where the rich people sit. I was sitting in one of those boxes. We called it the terrace level over there. I was sitting in one of those boxes in the dark, and I was looking at the Adrien Broner video. I was listening to it, and he mentioned that. Well, by the time I got home at 9 a.m. to show my then girlfriend, who's now my wife, to show her what I had seen, I couldn't find the video. So he took it down sometime between 2:30 a.m. and 9 a.m. And I tell cats, I'm like, hey, dog, I remember this video where this nigga said that he has had homosexual interaction while he's been in the entertainment industry. And that was the first time he contemplated suicide. And I believe with that particular time, he had wrote a letter or some shit, right? Recently, he talks about it again. This is before he announced his deal. He said he was ready to kill himself again. I believe a couple months before recently, he talked about killing himself, right? The reason why I believe even more so, even after him admitting in 2012 that he's had homosexual interaction, the reason why I believe he had homosexual interaction is even more is because that video he had with Gervonta Tank Davis, they in the club. Tank Davis is literally holding this nigga from behind like he's a bitch. He's holding him. And Adrien Broner turns and blows kisses to him. Y'all seen that video. If y'all haven't, I'll put it in the description. Hell, I might even put it in this video whenever I edit. You know what I'm saying? He's holding him from behind like it's his woman, and Adrien Broner turns and tries to kiss him. And of course, Tank Davis like moves his face like, "Ha, nigga, we can't do that." You know what I'm saying? Wait till we get back to the hotel. Listen, man. The reason why I'm talking about this homosexuality thing is because when you get into the entertainment industry and you make enough money, or you've been approached to be able to be taken to that next level, homosexual favors is involved, man. This is, you know, I'll just leave it at that because I don't want to go into all of that on this channel. That's why I talk about building another channel where I talk about a lot about the entertainment industry, you know, politics, the status of our economy, you know, government, all of that shit. I know a lot of this. All I do is research, man, if I'm not talking boxing. That's why I want to do another channel where I go in depth about all of this shit. But that shit is true, man, and a lot of celebrities have come out and already talked about it. You know what I'm saying? We've already seen cases where, you know, Lil Wayne is kissing Birdman and shit on the mouth, and Rick Ross is kissing P. Diddy on the mouth. P. Diddy slipping up and talking about how he woke up every morning with Usher. And then he retracts his statement while Kevin Hart is looking at him like, nigga, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? We already know this shit is out there. You know, there's been a lot of celebrities talking about the mansion parties and shit, right? Where it's on some goddamn eyes wide shut type of shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's out there, and I believe Adrien Broner is a piece in this particular chess game of the entertainment industry, man. What are you willing to do to get out there? And that's why his career doesn't need to be revived. He's already in that club. So no matter what he does, and, you know, the fans are a part of this, and then of course the elites will take you to another level. No matter what he does at this point in time, he will always be seen as an instant return on his investment. And that's what it is. So I don't know, man. I think it was a good deal for him. You know, I think Floyd Mayweather will look to get him in some of the easier fights at 140, an easier route to the title at 140. Because if you look at 147, you know, Terrence Crawford, Keith Thurman, Errol Spence, and the winner of Porter Garcia, all of those people are going to be belt holders at 147. He can't fuck with none of those guys. But at 140, you know what I'm saying, Maurice Hooker just beat Terry Flanagan. Mo Hooker has a lot of flaws. I believe Adrien Broner can beat Mo Hooker, especially right now, right? Of course, he's going to the WBSS at 140, the World Boxing Super Series, so he'll most likely lose that belt pretty soon. Then you got Jose Ramirez, the WBC champion, who defeated a married mom for the vacant title. I think Jose Ramirez beats Adrien Broner, but the fact that he has that that style that it's high pressure, high volume, I believe he will give Adrien Broner some opportunities to be able to get off on him at times. But that's a tough fight for Broner. Jose Ramirez is not in the WBSS, so that's a possibility, right? You got Kiro Relic, who defeated Rancis Barthelemy for the WBA title. He's going to the WBSS. He just put his name in there, so he's off the table. But the IBF title is vacant, and Adrien Broner is ranked number 10 by the IBF at 140 right now. Number 2 is Ivan Baranchyk, and then of course Anthony Yigit is number 3. So those two are probably possibly going to fight for that title. Now, Baranchyk is 18-0. He's a Russian guy that fights out of Miami. He's decent. I think Adrien Broner can beat him. And Anthony Yigit is 21-0 from Sweden. He's not a good fighter. Adrien Broner can beat that guy. So the best route for Adrien Broner right now, if he wants to become world champion again at 140, is to go the IBF route. Fight somebody within the top 10 as your first fight with Floyd Mayweather. He probably won't do that. It'll probably be a bigger name that he'll try to get at 140. Hell, he might even try to get a bigger name at 147. He might even try to get Jesse Vargas in a rematch or something like that. And even that, just the fact that he's a bigger name than all of the guys that are ranked by the IBF, that will possibly move him up in the rankings anyway. You know what I'm saying? But as long as he could fight a guy that he could possibly beat, you know what I'm saying, for that IBF title, that's the route he should take. You know what I'm saying? And Baranchyk and Yigit, he beats both of those guys. But then he's going to have some trouble because the winner of the World Boxing Super Series, that motherfucker is going to be the unified champion. And he will be looking possibly to become undisputed with that other title that's sitting out there. And plus, you got Jose Ramirez's title too, right? So I think the winner of that tournament, if Josh Taylor enters it, he will be the winner. It'll be between him and Regis Prograis, depending on how they seed everybody. I think Josh Taylor can defeat Regis Prograis, man. It's going to be a tough fucking fight. I think it's going to be a very close fight, but right now I'd have to roll with Josh Taylor. You know what I'm saying? Adrien Broner can't beat either one of those guys. It doesn't really matter. Can't beat Regis and he can't beat Josh Taylor. And remember, there's a lot of beef between Broner and Regis. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know, man. He's in between a rock and a hard place, like I said. And then that video where I discussed Wikipedia saying he's a gatekeeper, man, times have changed. In that video, I said he may not be a gatekeeper at 140, but 140 is getting a lot better. It's getting a lot better. I don't even know if Adrien Broner can beat O'Hara Davies. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if he can beat him. It's getting a lot better there. And if he doesn't make a move fast and start winning fights, he could possibly be a gatekeeper there. But again, just like I told y'all, he's a part of that good old boys club and good old girls club. It's pretty much it's mixed. You know what I'm saying? It's a co-ed club. Let me put it that way. Since he's a part of that co-ed club, well, it doesn't matter anyway, because the fans are always going to want to watch him. He'll always generate money. All right? YouTube, do what you do in the comment section. Let me know what you think about this topic, but be real. This is real talk for real fans. 1.